The UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and opposition leader Keir Starmer have faced intense scrutiny during the Sky News battle for number 10 debate. 3 weeks out from the UK general election, both leaders are keen to sway the crowd of undecided voters.
200 miles from Downing Street, the battle for number 10 now playing out in Grimsby. The two men vying for the keys to that door know they need to win voters like these. Keir Starmer first up to be interviewed by Sky's political editor Beth Rigby. He wants to convince this audience and the country he can be trusted. Tax, a constant issue in this campaign.
No tax rises in the next Parliament.
No tax rises needed in the plans in our manifesto.
In the plans?
No tax rises for working people. That's income tax, national insurance,
so you're
and VAT.
not ruling out. I just decode that for you guys, because when a politician says no plans, it does mean I might.
Well, Beth,
I've done this a bit. It does.
The audience asking questions too, and some not holding back.
Over the last year, I feel like you've formed into more of a politician than the person that I would have voted for to run the country. You seem more like a political robot. How are you going to convince others like me to vote for you?
Well, the most... Look, all I can say... I went to run the Crown Prosecution Service. You referenced that. I was the chief prosecutor for 5 years. Apologies.
Cayman, did he convince you, yes or no?
I hope you don't answer the questions, how you answer the questions, and I hope you never answered them the way that you did when you were a solicitor, because you don't seem to answer the question.
OK. I'm gonna...
Some frustration at the lack of detail, but this man not giving much away. Next up to face his grilling, the Prime Minister.
In this Parliament, we've had 3 Prime Ministers, 5 Chancellors, 5 Home Secretaries, 6 Health Secretaries. How do we know that if you won the general election, you'd still be Prime Minister in a year's time?
The PM tested like rarely before on his promises. One, to get waiting lists down.
It's gone up.
Yes, it has. Yes, I'm very good. We've not made as much progress on cutting waiting lists as I would have liked. You had a question earlier from, I think there was a junior doctor here, and I think everyone knows the impact the industrial action has had. That's why we haven't made as much...
So it's the doctor's fault. The point...
Rishi Sunak facing boos, trying to show he gets it. But after 14 years in power, the audience seemed low on patience.
You say that you're coming from an NHS background and you have this instilled value of caring for the NHS. How are we going to do that if you try and undermine it at every level?
With greatest respect, that's not what we're doing. We're investing record sums into it. We're training more doctors and nurses than we ever have, and there are more doctors and nurses in the NHS today than it's also had.
It was a bruising experience for the Prime Minister. His campaign needed a win, but it didn't come here.
An exclusive Snap poll suggests a decisive verdict. 64% said that Keir Starmer won, just 36% said Rishi Sunak, not the result the Prime Minister needed.
Halfway through this campaign, tonight a major moment. Both sides will try to claim their man won, but the reactions in the room and from the viewing public tell a different story.